fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform out of pit of flesh. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform out of pit of flesh. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn, a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Good evening, welcome to another stream, slightly later than normal, slightly different day than normal, but I have, as a lot of people have asked in the chat, I have escaped the shed that I was using for a couple of days, and we are back to the normal setup. I was away still, yes, I've actually only just got back like an hour ago, so I'm straight back from being away, straight back on the stream. No video today, but we'll get this stream done, and then we'll have normal videos from tomorrow onwards, and hopefully no more sheds for a little while, because yeah, the video worked really well. I thought the stream did not work quite so well. Anyway, how are we all doing? And what scores are we on? I'm on 69 minus 4. Obviously got a lot of players left to play. Kane tonight. Trippier and Botman again after their clean sheet against Man United. Absolute nightmare. Man United players doing awful. So that's not good. Ollie wasn't the problem. Yeah, I've noticed all the Solskjaer stuff that's kicked back up again. I mean, one bad game for Ten Hag. I mean, I guess the last 3 results in the league haven't been great, but I feel like the panic. I feel like with Man United, they win a few games, they're suddenly, they're all the way up here. They lose a couple of games, and suddenly it's like end of the world. I'm not too worried just yet. Let's see what happens against Brentford at home. 69 minus 4 with Kane to play tonight. Bench boost in play. Yeah, lots. I expect most people have played their bench boost at this point. Could have a few people playing it in Gameweek 34, I guess. Ten Hag record not too dissimilar to Ranić. Is that true? I know Spurs can go third tonight. Thanks for the Saka news. Yeah, the Saka stuff was stressful. I just, like I said on the show, I didn't really want to say it because I knew people wouldn't believe it. Because 1, it was April Fool's, and 2, it was Saka. Saka always starts. So I knew people wouldn't believe it. So it meant, and I knew because it was an 11 a.m. deadline, it'd be 3 hours until we found out the team. So I didn't really want to say it, but obviously I couldn't keep it to myself. Probably saved a few bench boosts with that news, I would say. So yeah, interesting. It's funny because the guy messaged me actually that told me, he said afterwards when Saka started and said maybe we can start trusting this now. And I was like, yeah. And look, I said to them, I'm not trying to like act as if I don't trust you when you tell me. It's just the early team news, the stress gets to me every time. because so many people on Twitter just pick it up, especially like non-FPL people. But anyway, that's done now. I was selling Saka anyway, so it didn't really make any difference. But obviously, it did help with selling him. All of you that went on Man United players without Casemiro and tough fixtures don't understand FPL. I know, we're all awful. If only we weren't overreacting after just the first game of the double game. It's not like we've been here before where players don't do well in the first game. Everyone says it was a mistake. Look at Gameweek 27, for example. And then all the players did well in the second game. So let's see what Man United do against Brentford first. 1 goal for Rashford could leave him on 12 points total. That'd be pretty good. 1 penalty for Fernandes, 12 points total. That could be pretty good. Clean sheet for Shaw, maybe. We'll see. I think those Man United players are going to be in my team for most of the rest of the season. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, it's definitely looking good for anyone that went for a Brighton captain. For sure. Every single one of them off the mark. McAllister with a goal, Matoma with a goal. Lovely chip finish. Not really a chip, I guess. Wait, was it? Would you class that as a chip? A lob. I guess you call it a lob, wouldn't you? Yeah, Tony survived the booking, so he's going to get to play the second game, although I hope he doesn't score. But either way, he should play like 11. Would you have taken the minus 12 in hindsight? I mean, obviously, yes. I would always take the. I mean, I don't know. The minus 12 might not work out, but it would need Kane to do really well tonight to not have paid off, because it would have been Solanke in. He scored, got 3 bonus points. Salah would have been in. He obviously did really well too. But Odegaard did get some points as well. So we'll see. It's not. I'm not completely annoyed that I didn't do it. But if Salah scores against Chelsea, obviously that wipes out my double clean sheet, and then I really should have probably just taken the minus 12. Do we get rid of Brighton players? I mean, the rest of it without injuries and stuff. My transfers over the next few weeks are pretty much locked in already. Like, there's no need for me to get rid of any of my Brighton players. There's no no reason for me to get rid of any of my Brighton players, any of my Man United players. Kane, and then a lot of the players can just stay until game week 34. So Kane downgrade, Chilwell to Trent, and Odegaard to Salah. That will probably happen in game week 34. It's quite boring the next few weeks for me, to be honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's no reason. I'm free hitting in game week 32, so there's no reason for me to get. Do you know what I mean? Is anyone actually worried? Like, if you look at my team for next week, right? This is it. I'm currently playing March and Matoma ahead of Odegaard. I'm not sure whether that will stick. And obviously, if Tony gets yellow carded against Man United, I'll have to change. But is anyone worried about playing Brighton midfielders against Spurs? I'm not particularly. Similarly, I'm not that worried about playing Odegaard against Liverpool. I mean, away games are always going to be tougher than home games generally. But it's not like the Spurs and Liverpool defences are watertight. So I'm not actually that worried about having to play my Brighton players. Then they've got Chelsea. Chelsea conceded 2 goals against Villa. They conceded 2 goals against Everton. I know they're going to have a new manager, or at least a temporary manager in charge. But I don't know. Just don't know if I'm that worried. And obviously, from game week 33 to 38, so 33, 34, 36, 7, 38, Brighton are going to have 9 matches in 6 game weeks. So, I'm not going anywhere, to be honest. Not going anywhere. Yeah, I'll get Haaland for game week 30 if he's fit, but let's wait and see. I've got enough money in the bank to do Tony to Haaland. That's it. That was always the plan. Obviously, once we knew the Saka news and the fact that Haaland... See, I got confused on stream because I didn't go and check Team News and Tix's post on Instagram. I thought people said to me that he was benched, but actually he wasn't in the squad at all. So I did think about blocking the Haaland move, but I just didn't feel like there was a major advantage for my team for doing it. So I'm going to do Tony to Haaland. But if Haaland's not fit for game week 30, I may just go without him until game week 34. And my plan would be to roll a transfer this week if Tony's not suspended. And then in game week 31, I will get Salah back. I will do Tony to a cheap forward and get Odegaard to Salah. But we need to wait and see what's up with Haaland first of all. De Bruyne an option over Salah from Game Week 34. I'm definitely going to go for Salah in Game Week 34. De Bruyne is an option, yes, but I will not be doing it, I don't think. But Man City will have a double in 37 when Liverpool won't. So I will probably swap Salah to a Man City midfielder after Game Week 34. Honestly, my midfield's done. It's these four, unless there's injuries, it's these four midfielders, and I will be doing Odegaard to Salah, and almost nothing outside of an injury or suspension will change my mind. Like almost not. I can't think what's going to happen. Like if Salah blanks in 30, 31 and 32 and 33, I still think I would bring him in over De Bruyne for 34. Like, just is what it is. That is my move, and I just don't know what would change my mind really. Kane needs a rest. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. He ain't getting one. He's going to play every single game, 90 minutes a time. Thoughts on the Potter sacking? He couldn't survive any longer. He just couldn't survive. I mean, it's interesting because it's a project. He's been back for the long term. They spent 600 million. But also, you've got to get more results when you spend that much money. And it kind of sucks, right? I think not that everybody wanted Chelsea to do really well, because I've been quite glad they've been doing rubbish, to be honest. But I think a lot of people wanted Potter to succeed because of the story. But he's just never going to survive, was he? Never going to survive. I think that Saka can haul against Liverpool is so bad. He absolutely can. He's brilliant. Like I said before we sold him. Going without Saka could be costly. It could, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully not, though. I've used my triple captainship, yeah. Has Potter actually rejected Leicester? Because I thought that's pretty much where he was just going to go. Is that a fact? Has that actually happened? I feel like Potter will go to Leicester, Rodgers will go to Palace, and Nagelsmann will probably go to Chelsea, and Spurs will probably still be in a position where they don't know which manager they're getting. That was kind of how I thought it would probably go. Did I think it was harsh when Tuchel was sacked? I can't really remember the circumstances, to be honest. I didn't think it was the correct decision necessarily. Fair enough. Oh, he's got a lot of money from Chelsea, hasn't he, Potter? Rafa Benitez to Spurs. Oof. Ross Gunn, 66 points bench boost without Trippier, though. Idiot. You're not that much of an idiot, man. It happens. Member for 1 month. Thank you very much. Fair enough. Maybe he's turning it down because he wants the Spurs job. Would Spurs take Potter? Maybe. Luis Enrique. Yeah, someone should get him probably. Jandre Boltez, play 2, March Matoma versus Spurs or Barnes. I think if you've got Barnes against Bournemouth, you've got to play him, to be honest. Go back to your points page, please. You did ask nicely, so I'm gonna go straight back for you. This is what we're on right now. Man United players absolutely smashing it. Chilwell, by the way. I mean, so I'll be honest with you. I went away on Friday. I flew on Friday at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I got to Bristol at 10. I had to wait for a bus. Got a bus to Weston. Went for lunch with the family, and then I went straight to work in the shed. Where am I going with this? Why did I start this? Oh, yeah. And then obviously stuff will happen Saturday, Sunday. I've been travelling back today. I've been back an hour, then I started streaming. So I've not actually seen all the highlights, to be honest with you. I haven't caught up yet. But I watched a few of the games before I started streaming. One of them was Chelsea. Chilwell hit the post. Chilwell disallowed goal. Like, I feel like for the last 2 game weeks, we've been a little bit unlucky with Ben Chilwell. We deserve some points from him. And to be honest, I'm not saying the disallowed goal was incorrect, because there probably was a bit of a push. But I also feel like it wasn't such a push that it would always get given. Does that make sense? Like, I think on another day that gets given, they check it on VAR and they don't overturn it. I think it was one of those. It wasn't like super obvious, like a definite foul. But I think fair enough. It was given. I won't begrudge not getting those points. But on another day, I feel like we could have got them. Chris, plan to Arcon 33, bench boost 34. Thoughts on Grealish and Alvarez's punts till free hit 32. I mean, Alvarez is only really a great punt if Haaland's out, but Grealish is basically nailed, isn't he? Well, I mean, when was the last time Grealish didn't start? I'm going to check now, and it's going to be like last week or something. I completely missed it, but yeah, Grealish, the last time Grealish didn't start a game was game week 20, and that was against Man United and Chelsea the game before that. But since the World Cup restart, he played in 17 and 18. He missed game week 19 and the first game of game week 20. He's played every single game apart from that. Started. So he could be a bit of a punt, especially if you're wildcarding in 33. Yeah, I kind of like that, to be honest. I think for me, it's just a case I just don't have a midfield slot, to be honest. Thoughts on Martial, Dallo, and 3 Brighton mids on wildcard to enable bench boost. I think Martial is definitely first choice ahead of Weghorst, but how long? The problem is you put Martial on a bench boost, he could easily be injured by the second game because that is just Martial. Dallo's not necessarily going to play every game either, so I wouldn't probably do that. 3 Brighton mids is fine as long as there's not 3 other midfielders you want, because obviously they would take up 3 of the 5 spots. They're all great in their own right, though, for sure. I know it's midweek, but I'm currently number 1 overall rank. Damn, Nikhil, let me see that. Are you telling the truth? You've overtaken... Who was the guy... I can't remember who it was now. Ali, yeah. You've overtaken Ali. Cookie Monster Nikhil. You're not in my min league. You're not in my min league. You kept Saka though. You kept Saka. Here's my thanks for the great content. Thank you very much. Good luck for number 1. Have you used all your chips yet? What chips have you used? Oh, you've used your second wildcard, but you still got your free hit. You still got your free hit. I used bench boost in 27. Oh, you got a game week rank of 10,000. Freaking great. Very nice. You still got steel. Castagna. You've got Castagna who got an assist. I didn't know people owned Timothy Castagna. That's amazing. But I'm looking at it on the other screen. I should really just be looking at it on this screen. So this is Nikhil who just put a super chat in. It's their team. Number 1 in the world. Castagna. Harsh on Saka. I wonder if you got the news. But you still got quite a few players to come. Obviously, you didn't need the bench boost, right? Also, I love the fact you've put Kane on the bench, because earlier on I said that I tweeted that my bench was doing really well, and obviously got a few replies, oh, you'd never bench Kane. I thought, I would. If you never watched my channel before, I love playing the double game week players, so of course I would have benched Kane. But also, obviously, I set up so that I didn't have to. Oh, Raya on the bench, but at least Steele got the assist. Looking good. Looking good. I tell you what, though, obviously you're in a really good position. Ali, who's number 2, João Felix, Tyrone Mings has been freaking great, honestly. I think they still got wildcard and free hit left. That's a lot of points, I reckon. Game week 33 onwards, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But good luck. Good luck. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be number 1. And you've done it. Alfred, can we talk about Tyrone Bloody Mings? What a hero. I'm on 82 points with 14 to play. Darren Noodles nowhere in sight. Very nice. Yeah, Tyrone Mings. I had him, didn't I? I had him. I bought him in for Patterson. Remember I bought him in and I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Then he got me a clean sheet in game week 24, 23, 25, I can't remember. Then obviously I wildcarded him out and he's done great since. And I spoke about him on transfer tips last week and I said if Villa can get a clean sheet in the double, to be honest, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think they were going to get a clean sheet against Villa or Leicester. Because if they've got an outside shot of a clean sheet, they've got great home fixtures to come. So yeah, I kind of wish I kept him. Not that I was ever going to do that, but I don't think it was wrong to go without him, for what it's worth. But he's great for the price. But he's just one of those players now I'm never going to own for the rest of the season. I just won't. I don't really need... if you look at Villa's fixtures, I don't really need a defender this week. I mean, I don't know. You could argue that I need Tyrone Mings, right? Because Chilwell's a load of rubbish. But ultimately, Chilwell's going to become Trent in game week 34. So for a lot of this team, I only really need them for 30, 31. And then I'll make some bigger changes. So I'm just going to keep Chilwell for a couple of game weeks and hope he starts both. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Do I think Saka to Grealish makes sense? I think if you've kept Saka, it makes a lot of sense just to keep Saka, to be honest with you. If you had a triple captain, when will you play? I guess game week 34, unless you're using another chip that week. Yeah, of course I could do Odegaard to Grealish, but if I want Haaland, then I've got to do that move. It's just the way things are set up, and because I'm going to free hit in 32. You're an Arsenal fan, fair enough. My transfers are kind of set. You know, if Haaland's fit, Tony to Haaland makes a lot of sense. And in game week 31, I'm free hitting in 32, so I need to set up for the double game week in 34. So I'll probably just do Raya to Ederson. They will probably be my moves. Tony to Haaland, Raya to Ederson, free hit in 32, roll in 33, game week 34, get Trent and Salah, and then worry about after game week 34 then. Any other transfer in mind other than Tony to Haaland? I don't think so. Like I'm up for ideas, but I just don't really see what I need, to be honest. Like, I could sell Odegaard, but any player I bring in for him that's not Salah will then become Salah in game week 33 or 34. I don't want to sell Trippier or Shaw. I could sell Chilwell, but again, whoever gets brought in for Chilwell will become Trent in 34. So it's just no point. Have you looked at a free hit 32 team yet? Which Liverpool players besides Salah? Trent for sure, and then one of Darwin or Robertson probably. Probably Robertson just to be safe. If Tony's not banned, I'll go. But basically, I could already tell him in team, right? Saka, maybe Martinelli instead of Odegaard, but Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel, Trent, Robertson, Salah, Kane, Tony if he's not banned, and then 3 other players. A goalkeeper, I think. A Palace defender, a Palace goalkeeper against Everton, possibly. Maybe Raya against Villa, but obviously the way Villa are playing right now, I wouldn't put it past them scoring in that game for sure. Maybe a West Ham player against Bournemouth. Maybe like Ings and Bowen as punts. It's done already, really. I mean, let's see who comes in to manage Leicester. Maybe Iheanacho 1 week punt. Maybe Maddison. That's it. It's done already. Saka, Odegaard, Gabriel, Trent, Robertson, Salah, Tony. I've got Tony, Kane. Kane and Tony will probably be the 2 of the strikers. Aguerd, maybe against Bournemouth. It's a away game though, isn't it? Solanke's definitely scoring against you boys. Kane's got a Newcastle away, but I'll probably still go for him that week, to be honest. But we'll see. I could go a bit puntier than Kane. Question if Liverpool attack are worth guessing. I think by game week 32, there's just like if Liverpool got every. Do you know what? One thing I didn't check was Diaz back on the bench against Man City. I don't think he was he? No, he wasn't yet. So Firmino and Nunez were on the bench. But by game week 32, who knows? Maybe Diaz is back. It's just another player to add to the mix. By the way, if Haaland's not fit for game week 30, I don't know if I'll captain Rashford. That maybe is a bit knee-jerk. Maybe I should go for Kane instead. Diaz won't be back for Arsenal, but should be back by 31. There you go. There's just too many players. The thing is, like Diaz isn't probably going to start in game week 32, but he's just another player to take minutes off of someone else. Then again, I was going to go for Salah because he's guaranteed like 90 minutes every single game. He came off in the 67th minute, was it? Against Man City? 69th minute. That's the first time he hasn't played 89 minutes or more since game week 10. That was also against one of the big teams as well. That was against Arsenal in game week 10. There's only 2 games when Salah's not played 89 or more minutes. Once against Arsenal away and once against Man City away. So, Watkins captain against Nottingham Forest? Possibly because it's a good fixture, but I suspect I'll go for Rashford or Kane. I guess Watkins is on penalties as well. He's very good, but doesn't complete 90 minutes. Did he come off early again? I don't think... I need to check. Wilson didn't start, did he? No, Wilson got 10 minutes and scored, for Christ's sake. I don't know if it was because Salah was fasting, to be honest. Like, he wasn't fasting in game week 10, right? If that's who you're talking about. I think I suspect. Hang on, I'm gonna check now. When was he fasting last year? Let's have a look. Let me see Salah. I feel like this comes up every year. Oh, should we go for them because they're fasting? They always play well. Oh, maybe you're right. Was he injured though? Maybe he wasn't. When was Ramadan last year? Starting the 3rd of April. Salah played 69. Then he played 90, 90, 90. Yeah, I don't think it's an issue. I don't think it's an issue. Liverpool rubbish, but Salah still scored. Yeah, I definitely want him going forward or soon. I picked Steele over Estepini and Dunk because I obviously knew he had more attacking potential, and I couldn't believe it. What a finish, though. Would you consider keeping Madison until 34, 35, benching 31? You could do that if it fits in, yeah. They got some pretty nice fixtures. I think it's hard to kind of say what Leicester players will be like now because obviously they're going to have a new manager at some point. Sorry, we're back. Everyone's going to say, you're muted. But now I know. But I already knew that before you told me. You can definitely... Yeah, and now you're going to realise I already realised before you told me. And then you're going to be like, oh, it's all fine now. I know it's fine now. I can see it. But thank you. You can keep Madison for game week 30 anyway, right? For Bournemouth at home. So then you can reassess after that. And the fixtures are pretty good. You just don't have a double game week. Yeah, Madison till 35, then switch. Sure, if you don't want an extra double game week in 34, then yeah. I think Saka might come back in after 34 for me, but we'll see. Yeah, Madison's Salah is what I would do. In 31. If you've got the cash, possibly, yeah. If you haven't, though, it's a bit different. Yeah, Salah is having a pretty good season, to be fair. FPL-wise. He's third on 160 points. It's just the price, isn't it? That's the reason. I mean, Salah hasn't... okay, obviously, I know he literally blanked against Bournemouth, right? You can't say, well, he almost had the points. But it was just a missed penalty against Bournemouth. And his penalty record is usually pretty good. So he hasn't blanked that much since game week 23. He's doing really well. I was a bit weirded out. Not weirded out, but I was a bit confused last week with the kind of chat around Salah as if he's like this really bad option. Because most people who were saying that are usually the type of people that really love like using form or something to pick players. And Salah's been in really good form recently. So yeah, you could definitely do Madison's Salah at some point if you've got the cash. But it's a lot of money extra. Have the same team as you, but Madison and not Odegaard. Got triple captain and free hit left by 35. We'll have Edison, Everson. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, Man City, Liverpool, Man United players, great. Nothing wrong with that at all. Estepini, March, great. Matoma, great. Grealish, Salah, great. Yeah, all looks good to me. Liverpool are just awful. I mean, yeah, they were definitely not a great result against Man City, but they got better fixtures coming up. And also, you got to remember, teams don't need to win to do well for FPL, right? It helps, of course, because you're more likely to get more goals or whatever, but it doesn't matter hugely. Oh, excuse me. Kane to Solanke to get Robertson, or Kane to Greenwood and get Trent. I think it really depends on whether you're going to need to play Solanke. If you're mostly going to bench him, I think you can risk that, to be honest. Sorry for Mr. Talking this. What do you think of Bruno's position yesterday? I'll be honest with you, I've not watched the game. Was he playing deep? I kind of joked about that before, that he wasn't lining up as a kind of deeper player, but that he probably would play there now I'd said that. Is Thursday the members chat this week? No, it'll probably be Friday. Because it's a Saturday deadline. I'm going to be here on Friday, so it'll probably be Friday. I always try and leave it as late as possible. 5 o'clock Saturday, Friday, I would say. Hopefully. But I'll let you know later this week. Who's going to captain Salah? What, this week? Arsenal at home? Or are you talking about Game Week 34? Oh, McTominay further advanced. That's not good. We need Casemiro back. I would probably captain Haaland against Southampton if he's fit, but let's see. Like, if there's any doubts about Haaland's minutes, I'll probably captain someone else, but I don't know. We'll see. Can we see how many managers have used what chips this game week? Is that something FPL reveals? FPL might reveal it. You can probably go and check on livefpl.net, I'd say. Yeah, maybe people were right not to get Fernandes, but let's see what happens in the next game. Plan to bring Haaland for Tony in Game Week 30. Have just enough. I mean, if you've got literally 0 spare, you could just do it. But I'd really want to wait, because what if Haaland's out again? And what if, like, if Tony doesn't get suspended, if Tony doesn't get his yellow card against Man United, then he's fit to play against Newcastle. And I mean, that seems like an okay fixture to play. I mean, Newcastle are very good, of course, but I wouldn't be that worried about playing Tony at home to them. Tony to Alvarez captain. Again, you'd really want Haaland out for sure, wouldn't you? Before you go for Alvarez. I mean, he is great, right? I captained him. Can't remember who against now. He got 9 points. He's awesome, but you don't necessarily want him unless Haaland's definitely out. And to be fair, the fact that Haaland wasn't in the squad at all is definitely kind of encouraging for anyone that wants to take a punt on Alvarez. But we need to hear what Pep says. Pep much prefers Alvarez. I mean, it's quite literally not true, right? Considering how much Haaland has played. I guess some people might make an argument that they're slightly better with Alvarez, but I think Haaland was the big money signing, wasn't he? So the big name that came in. I don't think he's suddenly going to be benched anytime soon. All it takes is a Bruno penalty against Brentford and everyone's tune has changed. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Will Everton versus Spurs be 1-1? I don't care as long as Kane scores. Possibly. Be interesting to see how Spurs play. It's like I said last week, I don't think it matters that Conte's gone. I don't think Kane, from an FPL point of view, can really be much better than he has. Where do you think Arsenal drop points in the future? I mean, who knows the way they're playing? Maybe they don't drop any points. Maybe they just keep smashing everyone. Like, can Liverpool really turn up and stop Arsenal? Maybe. I mean, I guess Man City away is very tough. Newcastle away is quite tough. Chelsea at home. Who knows how Chelsea might be playing by then? Explain why you want to play Raya over Kepa. It's just like, that's just my bus team. It's lined up like that because Raya's at home. But I might switch to Kepa. I'm going to look at the clean sheet odds before I make a decision. Originally, I did have Kepa playing. I didn't long swap it, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. Would you still bring in Watkins or look elsewhere? I think Watkins' value to us is getting less and less, right? So I think Watkins looks good for I mean, Watkins still isn't that bad to bring in because Villa's fixtures are pretty good, right? Spurs, Forest at home, Newcastle at home, Brentford away, Fulham at home. Like if you're not free hitting in Game Week 32, I think Watkins is still pretty good for you for the next 4. And even after that, I mean, who knows? Man United keep defending like they have been the last few games. But I think for most people, the next 4 game weeks, if you're not free hitting, you could still make a case to bring in Watkins. Maybe a little bit less useful if you are free hitting 32. As a United fan, would you rather see Arsenal win the title than City? I mean, I'm not from Manchester, right? We all know that. I don't care what people think, so I don't have to go and. There are no Man City fans like here. I don't know any Man City fans, right? Because they were rubbish a long time ago. So no one really supports them. It's not like you see Man City fans walking up and down the street, right? Where I live, it's all Liverpool, Man United, etc. So I don't have to hear from any Man City fans. I feel like when obviously you don't want Man City winning stuff, but when Man City do win the league, everyone forgets about it the next day. Whereas if Arsenal win the league, we've got to hear about it for another whole season. So of course I'd rather, I guess, Arsenal win it than Man City, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure about that. You just don't see as many Man City fans around. There's much more like Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United fans, stuff like that. At least that I know, right? I'm not saying they're not out there. Of course they are. But you have to hear it. It's like Arsenal fans are already talking more than before, and of course they would be, right? Because they're doing really well. Whereas Man City win the league this year, everyone forgets about it like straight away. It's just all right, whatever. I guess you don't want Pep to close in on Fergus. Fair enough. All the Man City fans live in Manchester. Yeah, I think I've seen like one Man City shirt near where I live. You just see loads of other shirts around generally. I just think like it's boring when Man City win, but it's just so easily forgettable. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. City will be a minority here for at least 20 plus years, even if they win everything repeatedly over that time. It must be a lot though, right? But even if I still lived in England, Arsenal, when I was growing up, Arsenal was just a bigger rivalry, right? Vison. Who's Vison? Do hits get included in game week rank or just final score? I think they get counted in both, but I could be wrong. Ultimately, right, with whoever wins the league, I don't really care if it's not Man United. Like, who cares? Man City win, great, another title. Arsenal win, it means Man City haven't won, great. It doesn't really make... Like, it's not like anyone's happy, right? If it's not your team that's winning, you can't really be happy about it. Wish I backed Pinnock instead of Henry. I know, I can't believe Pinnock scored twice since people wildcarded in game week 26. Absolutely mad. Then again, I probably would have just sold Pinnock in 28 like I did for Henry, so I would have missed the goal anyway. Although I would have been way more annoyed about that. Best 6 million sub striker to go for Johnson, Solanke. Yeah, probably those two. I think I need to check Nottingham Forest fixtures. Obviously, they're both on penalties. They're both pretty nailed. Minutes are good. Yeah, I mean, Nottingham Forest are about to come to a run of Man United at home, Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Brentford away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. There were some pretty tough on paper fixtures to end the season. But again, who knows? The way their teams are playing at the moment, they could go and score against Man United and Liverpool and Brighton and Brentford. I guess it depends how often you're going to play them, right? Let's have a look at Bournemouth's fixtures. Because Solanke's a bit cheaper. So they've still got to play Spurs away. They've still got to play Chelsea at home in game week 35. Man United at home in 37. I would say overall, Bournemouth's fixtures are maybe slightly better. And if this is a player you're not going to play most weeks, you probably just take the cheaper one in Solanke. But if you want Brendan Johnson, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You had Pinnock and sold him. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done the same. Always makes me laugh when people talk about City fans the way David Attenborough talks about spotting a rare bird in the jungle. Like I'm not trying to like. I know like people jump on the bandwagon. Oh, it's like the Etihad, not the Etihad. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't know Like I'm just a bit older, so most new City fans are probably younger, right? Because they're winning stuff now. That's just how things go. Obviously, there's. Oh, God, it's going to start a riot now. Obviously, there's loads of fans that support teams that don't win anything because they're from where they grew up. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm very happy for those fans. But outside of that, you know, most people, or a lot of people, pick the teams that have won something or done really well when they're growing up and picking teams. And so, for my age, people I don't know any City fans because there just weren't any. Because they were rubbish. And I'm just trying to drink my drink with the lid on. I did see a kid, though, in a Man City top a few years ago. Just one. In the estate. I'm a teacher from South East England. We're starting to see kids come through as City fans. There you go. Also, I think there's a lot of kids these days that just support players. They like players instead of teams. Who was it? Was it Perez, Real Madrid guy? He was talking about that. I actually think there was a bit of truth to what he said. I know people hate hearing it, but I think there is. I think kids do have shorter attention spans now. They might want to watch shorter games. The City fan base will grow in the next 10 years as kids support the recent. Yeah, I actually think that will probably happen. Yeah. Outside of Man United, which team's results do you look out for first? I don't. No one, I guess. I mean, I just check the results as they come in. Am I a City fan? No. Watch us be bigger than Man United in 10 years. It's not going to happen, is it? It's just not going to happen. I think you probably underestimate how many Man United fans there are, to be honest. Chelsea and Brentford won't keep clean sheets. Possibly, but can't sell everyone. You hated Salah, now you like him. Cool. Ben White punishing his sellers. Yeah, but it was the right decision for a lot of people, wasn't it? Harsh if you did it this week. You didn't buy Man United players. You're happy. Let's hope they don't do it. Well, for you, you should be hoping they don't do anything against Brentford, but fingers crossed they do. It's going to be funny now that everyone sold Saka and he only got 1 point. He's probably going to smash it next week against Liverpool, and you wish you never did it. You wish you never... I'll get people that will say, I wish you never told me that news about Saka. It's like Everson, Bournemouth at home, or Kepa. I actually don't know. Because that is a good home fixture, but Leicester are really bad. I think I'd probably start Kepa. I mean, Chelsea aren't great either right now, but still. If Haaland is ruled out for Game Week 30, is it worth bringing the Edison transfer forward? For me, I'll just roll. I'll just roll the transfer and go in for 2 into next week, to be honest. I'm not going to build a free hit 32. I kind of already talked about it earlier. There's no point in building it now because we don't need it for another 2 weeks. You wish you bought Salah instead of Bruno. I did consider it, but it would have blocked Haaland this week, so that's why I didn't do it. I did consider it. And who knows? There's a chance that Fernandes still outscores him. Imagine the new manager prefers Mendy over Kepa. Yeah, could happen. But to be honest, it's done now. Like, I've played the bench boost is done. So if that happens, it's not the end of the world. Because I'll just bring in Edison. I'll just play him every week instead. So it wouldn't be great because we've still got 1 game left of game week 29. But if Kepa plays again, I think for what it's worth, it's the... It's one of the assistants, right? I can't remember what his name is. So I suspect Kepa will stay in. And as long as he plays against Liverpool, that's all I need. Because my other goalkeeper can just play every other week. It's really not the end of the world. Raya in Game Week 31 has Wolves away. So if I had to play him against Newcastle, Wolves, and then I get Edison in for 33 onwards, I really wouldn't be that worried about it. So, yeah, Kepa, will he lose his place to Mendy? Possibly. Is it going to be a big issue? Not really. Kepa's done his job at this point. His job to get hardly any points, basically. The plan for buying Haaland is Tony to Haaland this week, if he's fit. And the plan for Salah is sell Kane in Game Week 34 and get Salah. If Haaland's not fit for this week, I might roll and not get Haaland in 31 and just get Salah instead and get Haaland in 34 for Kane. Basically, the long and short of it is for my team, over the next couple of weeks, Tony will go for Haaland, Raya will go for Kepa, and Odegaard will go for Salah. And Kane will have to be downgraded to make some of that work. I probably won't even get Solanke or Johnson or Mbomo. I'll probably just get Greenwood and just really have loads of money to spend. So those 4 players are the key ones that are going to go. Kane, Odegaard, Raya, and Tony as well. Sorry. And it just depends what order I do it. So if Haaland's fit this week, Tony to Haaland. If he's not, I roll and hope Tony's not suspended for Newcastle at home. And then in game week 30, I sell Tony, 31, sorry, I sell Tony and do Odegaard to Salah. And I do Kane to Haaland in 34 along with Edison, probably for a hit. Maybe Trent for a -4 or something like that. That is basically the plan. And Chilwell goes for Trent. So these 5 players in game weeks 30, 31, 33 and 34, they are the ones I'm selling. Everyone else, just staying. That's probably it. That's probably it. I've still got wildcard left. Teams are still good through 32, 34. When do you think the best time to use it? Last game week punt? Nah. There's no way your team is like that so good you don't need a wildcard. Right? Like there must be a few players you can improve on. So probably just use it in 34 if you've got no bench boost left. I kind of wish the Saka benching was a 2 PM surprise because I'd already bought him the night before. I know. I kind of wish I'd never got told because if I hadn't been told it, I would have sold him anyway because that's what I was always doing. I actually sold him the night before. And obviously a lot of people would have been screwed over and that would have been really nice, if not a bit harsh. But the news was there. I couldn't hold it. It wouldn't have been fair. Best City defender for 34 that's not Edison. Probably Diaz, I guess. Next season will be harder than this. All the Brighton mids will probably be 6.5 or 7 million. Yeah, but that happens every single year. Like people would have said exactly the same last year for this year, and then all of a sudden you got Brighton midfielders nobody was talking about at the start of the season, and all of a sudden they're in all of our teams. So there's always a cheap player that does well. I wouldn't panic about it. It'll be absolutely fine. Am I worried about Kepa? We just spoke about that. Short answer, no, because if he loses his place, it's not an issue. What to do? Fernandez to Tony and Haaland, Kane to Haaland for -4 or Kane to Haaland for 1 free transfer. No free hit or wildcard. Well, you probably want to keep Odegaard, right? So probably Tony to Haaland if he's going to get suspended. You have to wait and see what happens. Liverpool and Chelsea players might be good next season, expecting huge price drops. You won't get huge price drops for them. Like Chelsea were already a lot cheaper this year than most of their players usually would be. And Liverpool, no way. Like Salah's going to be 12.5 million again. Trent will be the same price. I don't see him going down in price really that much. Like what was Trent this year? 7.5. The lowest he's probably going to go to is 7. Unless they, I don't know to be honest. I've given up trying to guess the prices for FPL because they're just so. Some of them are just so not where they probably should be. But yeah. Yeah, Haaland will go up for sure. And I guarantee it'll come out, oh, we can't build a team, it's too hard. Then we'll build a team and it'll all be fine. There'll be a bunch of cheap players and we'll go on with our day or our season. The 10 yellow card threshold ends after the team has played 32 matches. So, for example, if I just bring the Premier League table up here, Brentford have played 28 games, so they've got to have played. So they've got to play another 4, 29, 30, 31, and 32 before Tony can avoid suspension. So he's probably done at some point soon. Saka will be worth as much as Son. I mean, Son will probably get a big price drop the way things have gone. Saka, I think Saka will be 10 million. I think Saka should be 10 million. Let me just say that. But knowing FPL, they'll probably price him at like 9 or 9.5. Who do you see as the second forward in a 3-5-2 post-game week 33 alongside Haaland? Well, if he's not suspended, probably Mitrovic, to be honest with you, for the double and then the good single game week fixtures after that, because he's only 6.6. And I don't... Yeah, he hasn't been suspended any longer, has he? He's suspended up until game week 32, right, I think. So by game week 34, it looks like he's going to be available. So he's got Man City at home, Liverpool, a pretty bad double. But at least he's got an extra fixture. Then it's Leicester at home, Southampton away, Palace at home, Man United away. I'll probably just get him. The only other option really for that price... So he's 6.6. I think Isak is 6.7. Yeah, 6.7. And he will have Southampton at home, Arsenal at home, Leeds away, but have a double game week that week probably, then Leicester at home. So I think it's between Mitrovic and Isak. And if Isak's still getting the minutes, I'll probably go for him. But Mitrovic is an option as well. So we'll see. If Isak has played every game up until that point, I'll probably just go for him. Especially with Southampton at home in 34. But he runs straight into Arsenal at home and has let Chelsea away last day of the season. So I think Isak's pretty good. I don't know if I'm ever going to be fully confident with Isak's minutes. As in, like, how often will he get to 90? Is there any chance that Wilson plays instead of him and that two other players get played either side? I think it's a possibility. I don't think Isak is completely risk-free. But I think if he's played every game, started every game from now until when I need a new forward, I will consider him. Like if you look at Iheanacho. Iheanacho plays like 6-7 games in a row and then just gone. I don't think Isak is quite the same situation, but it still worries me a little bit. No wildcard video this week. No, I don't think so. There's not enough time to do it. No, I won't be selling Watkins until after. I don't know when I'm going to sell Watkins, to be honest. If Estupinian gets benched, would you consider selling him? Nah, don't think so. Like, I'm not gonna play him against Spurs and Chelsea in 30 and 31 anyway. If he keeps getting benched, then yes, I'll consider it. But there's no point in doing it for the next 3 weeks. I'll only consider Estupinian to sell probably 33 onwards, I'd say. How long between games and the next deadline? Just go and check out the FPL page. Jandra Botes, new member, thank you very much. I thought you were already a member. Maybe I'm wrong. Should I get a Tesla Model 3 or a Cupra Born? My next door neighbour's got some kind of Cupra. It's nice. I don't know what a Cupra Born is. You get a Tesla. I don't know. I quite like the Cupras. Focal said no triple captain next week and DM position will be introduced. That was clearly an April Fool's. Like, if he was given inside info, he wouldn't be allowed to tweet it. He says the deadline on your stream. Yeah, 8th of April, yeah. Do I think Matoma will miss the next game? I don't think so, no. I suspect it'll just be pretty much the same. March, McAllister, Matoma behind a forward. Could be Welbeck, could be Ferguson. And probably the same back four. Get a Weasel drawn carries. That's what I roll in. Get Electric either way. Electric's great. Thoughts on double Liverpool attack for 34? I think it's a pretty nice punt if you can get the correct. I realise I look down a lot. It's because I'm looking at the chat all the time. I don't want to miss anything. If you can guess the correct attacker that's going to get 2 starts and maybe 130, 140 minutes across both games, then happy days. I haven't seen the Athlone Town goal scored against Galway, but I will try and remember to look it up. I can field 11 players in 32 and no hit. Should I use free hit in 34? Yeah, if that fits better with your team, absolutely. Deserby mentioned Matoma and McAllister being tired. I think they'll both play. But we'll see. We'll see. And Estupinian wasn't tired. He went all the way to Australia. Did he get 90 minutes? I didn't even check. 82 minutes. Crazy game that was, by the way. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it there. Obviously, we've got the Spurs news, the Spurs team sheet coming out in 35 minutes. Spoiler alert, Harry Kane's probably playing. I haven't changed Phoenix. I'm genuinely still listening to it. So yeah, I will. I mean, it doesn't like if Mitoma doesn't start. I guess it's annoying if you captain him, but it doesn't really matter, does it? It's done now. It's locked in. You can't change anything for game week 29. So just wait and see what happens on Tuesday and Wednesday. So Tuesday you have Brighton games and Maddison against Villa. Obviously Watkins against Leicester. The Chelsea-Liverpool game is also on Tuesday. Then it's Man United, Brentford and Newcastle all playing again on Wednesday. So wait and see what happens. I won't worry now. It's done. And then we go into next week. So team selection will be on Thursday this week. So I want to make sure all the games are finished before they do that. I'm on a green arrow, by the way. I haven't spoken about that. I've gone from 191k to 146k, so top 150k now. I'm hoping I continue getting a good green arrow this week. So obviously I've got quite a few players in the bench boost. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. I don't know if Kane's starting, but guess what? Harry Kane's starting because it's Harry Kane. And he starts every single game. Then again, so does Saka, and look what happened. Hopefully Kane hasn't been ill. He's literally played 90 minutes in every game apart from game week 6 against Fulham where he played 77 minutes. All right, I'm off. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a like if you haven't already. Hit subscribe if you're new around here. I'm going to do a video tomorrow and on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday and then deadline stream on Saturday. No more sheds for a little while. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. And I will catch you all again soon-ish, a.k.a. tomorrow. Come on, Kane. If Kane scores, that's the bench boost sorted. It's done. I don't even mind what happens in the Brentford-Newcastle game. That's just a bonus. But come on, Kane. We need you to score 3 times. That's all. 3 goals. That's all I'm asking for. Anyway, catch you again soon.